So I haven't been as present on YouTube as I might have liked, but I want to thank Beth from Carolina Princess Sweet Treats and Pretties for including me in the September drop sale shop hop that she is hosting this month. Always good to have a deadline, so I was able to get a video put together that has kind of a pseudo theme going to it. It's still a $5 ephemera sale, like most of my drop sales have been over the past several months, and these are all of the items that you will have available. There's a collection of Victorian trade cards, some card de visites, CDVs, all with back marks on them. Some tintypes. We also have cabinet cards, also all with back marks. And something for the first time I had picked up from an estate sale, some photography. It's about 20 years old based on some dating that I found on them. There's no information on the photographer, just cool large format photographs, and they're only $5. So starting out with these, I have more available, and they will be shipped in these very rigid photo things, which is probably worth almost $5 by themselves, but to make sure that they do arrive flat. If you've not participated in a drop sale shop hop before, just be aware that this is a pre-recorded video. So I am not doing anything live. I am not monitoring any sort of chat. If you want to claim something, you need to hop out of the video and go into the comment section and claim with the name and letter that I give you for each item. Pricing is all simple, it's $5, but pricing does not include shipping. So if you have not ordered from me before, please make sure you send me an email at thmvintage@gmail.com with your shipping information, and I will get invoices to you. My goal will be to get them to you by the end of the weekend. So thank you so much for joining my sale. This is a shop hop. So once you're done with mine at 1:30, make sure you hop over to Vintage and Vino for their video, and then go into the description of this video and you will see a full schedule of every channel that had a video this evening. And you can pop into even some of the earlier ones because there might still be some items available that have not yet been claimed that you can still pick up. So thanks so much for joining my sale. Enjoy the rest of the shop hop. Enjoy. So we're starting things out with some card de visites, CDVs, as they are most commonly called. They are these smaller sizes, and these will be like everything else that I'm offering. There will be a term code, which in this case will be CDV, and everything in the sale this evening will be super simple, $5 each. So if you want CDV A, it would be $5. CDV B is $5. So just type in CDV B, C, D, E, or A, and that is the item you'll get. I hop over into the comments in order to do that, as I am not monitoring this live. So starting things out, this CDVA is actually a full-size image, or a full image of her entire gown. So great. You know, we're not getting quite into the Gilded Age because the skirts would have started getting smaller at that point. So we were probably 1860s, 1870s with that full hoop skirt. And we've got a Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania photographic studio on the back of this. This is just a gorgeous piece, and it's only $5 for CDVA. CDVB gets you a portrait image of head and bust of this lovely lady with a high lace collar, the very well coiffed hair and earring there. This one is kind of cool because it actually has a color on the back of its back mark. All of the CDVs I share will have back marks on them, which helps indicate the area where these individuals lived. So this one was coming out of Boston, Massachusetts. CDVC would be $5. This is actually stamped on the front where this came from, and it's actually an international CDV. So this is Malmo, which I believe is in Sweden. You can see somewhat austere of a dress here. She has something coming off the front of her dress that doesn't look like a necklace because it looks like it disappears behind a button. So maybe it's a watch chain or something, but then maybe she's holding it. I am not sure what that, I don't think a chatelaine would be attached there at a button. She's holding a small book, a little bit too, I think too small to be a Bible, so maybe a testament, or maybe it's an account book. I could see this woman as a housekeeper, but I don't know if housekeepers get their CDVs done. But what's also unique about this one is color background, and it's Wilhelmina Hermansen, which means this was a female photographer. So pretty cool that that would have been the case. For CDV-D, these initials might kill me, but for this individual, got this beautiful oval cartouche with the curled hair piled up in the top, coming off the back, high lace collar. Not a monocle? Not sure what's hanging off of her necklace there. This one also has a kind of a cool back stamp showing that she was done in Troy, New York. And then the last one for $5, CDV-E, is an individual kind of floating effect where you just get the head and shoulders. Again, marked on the front where this one came from. This one says Rosenheim. I'm not sure why it's not wanting to. There we go, it's a little bit better. It says Rosenheim on the bottom because this is also international. So this is saying it's on Frühlingsstraße, which means it's German. So most likely Germany, Austria, or Switzerland. I don't know where Rosenheim is, but a cool custom back mark showing the studio of the photographer. So $5 each by giving me CDV A, B, C, D, or E. And not to be left out, we've got the gentleman CDVs. So again, the code will be CDV, but with a different set of initials. We've got these are L, M, N, O, and P, and these are all, again, for $5, and these all also have a back stamp. So we've got a seated gentleman, and this one has a back mark from Petersburg, Virginia, and he's actually identified, which is kind of nice because a lot of people do like to do these for genealogy, make them available, post them online. So we've got, that's L. M is a male, but possibly a boy. Looks a little bit like a uniform, although he's got a basket around his wrist, so I'm not quite sure what that hat would be. On the back, this is from Waynesburg, Pennsylvania. Rogers Brothers. So we got the little oval cartouche with the boy male in the middle. Got the great whiskers on N. He's got, you have a little eyeglass thing going on there? Yeah, he's got some sort of eyeglass. Yeah, he's got glasses. Great beard, the little tight tie underneath the collar. This one has the color on the backdrop, and this one is coming out of Titusville, Pennsylvania. So that would be CDV N for $5. O, we've got quite the rogue. Look at the width of that tie and the collar popped up. He knew he was a good looking guy with little whiskers. And he is from Richmond, Virginia. Another nice southerner coming in from this one. He will be CDV O. And also finishing up, P is this gentleman with a slightly different tie. Still the upturned collar, but his tie is doing something a little different there. And so is his coat. Can't quite figure out what his lapel is doing on the left side. Looks like it's folded in some way. Interesting. And that also has back mark, and this one has putting him from New York. Friendship, New York. Oh, and he's identified as well. So Bill Hammond. You can get Bill by giving me CDVP. So again, all 5 of these are $5 each by giving me the individual letters. And although not technically CDVs, they're of the same size. These are tin types, so I'm making these available. I had 2 of these left over. These are also $5 each of children. So we'll make tin will be the code for this one. So tin T gets you this little boy sitting on a wooden trunk. These don't have anything on the back because they are metal. And tin U gets the other little boy who is sitting on a little tufted fringed stool. So he looks like he's been put in the naughty stool. Actually, there's something on the back too, so I don't know if that's a prayer stool. No, I guess it's just a chair. That must just be a curved back of the chair, just kind of fancy. So $5 each. Tin T, tin U gets you one of the boys. So the previous batches were all CDVs, carte de visites. These are more traditional cabinet card sizes. So these will have the code of cabinet. And you can get these by cabinet A, B, or C. So these are larger sizes, and got a couple with a full length. So we got this great full length image of a woman with a little, kind of front apron design pulled up into, you can see a hint of a bustle there in the back. So it's probably getting into the 1880s-ish. This was coming out of Reading, Pennsylvania, and it does actually still have a back mark. This one is from the New York Gallery in Reading, Pennsylvania. So cabinet A for $5 gets you her. Cabinet B for $5 gets you this fancy lady. So you can see she's got quite a bit of trim work on her gown, as well as a train. So definitely a woman of wealth, or at least a woman who's going to a formal event. I love the way it's framed with the little architectural and the vase in the background. This one is actually down the street from me in South Chicago, which doesn't actually exist as a place, but Southern Chicago, the Lindner Studios, and it also has a back mark for C.W. Lindner, photographic artist, South Chicago, Illinois. I have to see, maybe South Chicago does still exist. I don't even know. All right, and then C, we have more of a portrait style, just head and shoulders. This would be cabinet C. Again, Gilbert and Bacon is shown on the front, so this is a Philadelphia photographer. Got the hair up in the bun, nice little tailored vest and collar, a little pop, like not quite the leg of mutton sleeves, but a nice little design there. Also a back mark for Gilbert and Bacon, and showing that they were on Chestnut Street and Arch Street in Philadelphia. So $5 each for cabinet A, B, and C. And we also have some gentlemen in the cabinet size. So again, cabinet N, O, and P will get you each of these for $5. So we got a full length individual. Got his pocket chain showing. He's got his little swagger stick, maybe a functional cane, but it's a little thin, so I think it's a little bit more of a swagger stick. And his hat, full length, does not show the photographer information on the front, but there is a back stamp, and it is a calendared back stamp, or a dated back stamp of 1887. So those are all really nice, coming out of Canton, Ohio for $5. O is a really attractive one with the black paper in the background. So it's still full length with his bowler hat, and he's got the collared coat top buttoned at the top, little tie peeking out there. And he also has a back stamp. This is coming out of Altoona, Pennsylvania. And then cabinet P gets the portrait with, check out what's attempting to be the handlebar mustache. It doesn't quite get the curl into it, but man, he's got the distance. Check out the width between the two tips of those. This is from the Scholl Studios in Chicago, and also has a back mark, instantaneous portraits of children, a successful specialty on Halstead. So this individual would be $5 for P. So cabinet N, O, and P, $5 each, gets you any one of the three. I also had a handful of pairs, couples for cabinet cards, so I'm going to go ahead and include those here. Again, they'll be $5 each, still cabinet, so K, L, and M. So this one we're going to assume is a married couple. This gentleman is seated, woman standing, tables in front, so it's blocking a little bit, but we can still get an idea of the full appearance of her dress. And then it looks like she is holding a photographic frame of some sort with a picture of a baby in it. So the fact that the baby's not there and the picture's there, draw your own conclusions. So this one's coming out of Lancaster, Pennsylvania, again with a back mark with the photographic studio on the back. Next one is, I'm assuming, a pair of sisters. Someone, I don't think this was done at the time it was made. I'm assuming this was written afterwards. Australia Patterson, Lily Ruth Schaefer. So I'm assuming Australia is her first name. What a great first name. I'm assuming somebody identified those after the fact, and that wasn't written on the front, because that would be odd to have a cabinet card with the names that prevalent, but who knows. So this was done in Dayton, Ohio, and check out the back mark on this one. Absolutely gorgeous. M. Wolfe, Main Street, Dayton, Ohio. So for, again, genealogy purposes, great identification of two individuals. And then the third is another couple. This one does have, you guys kind of see at this time, it's nice because it's embossed. I don't see that very often. This is normally printed. Ludwig Schill, and this is out of Newark, New Jersey. And this also has an absolutely fantastic back mark from Newark with the credit system building. Maybe that's where his studio was located. And you can see how the embossing was done from the back. So again, these are all $5 each. Cabinet K, L, and M for one of the couples. Since I inadvertently had created a little bit of a theme of photography with all of the CDVs and cabinet cards, I decided to pull these out as well. I picked these up at an estate sale, and to be perfectly honest, I haven't been 100% sure the best way to deal with them. They are all, I'm assuming, from the same photographer. I have zero information about the photographer. They appear to have some notes on the back of some of them, but none of these appear to indicate who the photographer was, and the estate people said they did not think it was actually somebody from the family. They think they were purchased from someone else, so they were just collected. So they're just a standalone, attractive photographs. So they are all on photographic paper. These are all black and whites. I have far more than these, but I have no idea if there's going to be any interest in something like this, so I'm just going to start with these 5. So we've got this large format of the cornfields. And again, on the back, it says it was number 24, developed with number 25, and experiment, have got extra burn when burning something corn. I don't know. So maybe these were test photographs just to prove the actual printing of them. I do not know. And I will say that there was some color, there were some in black and white. There were some that were kind of a sepia tone that I thought were black and white, but when I compared them to these, they didn't look black and white. So maybe he was doing them all differently, but there didn't appear to ever be, from what I found, or at least what the ones that I bought, there were none that were the same image, not produced, but you know what I mean. They weren't created this in multiple ways. So it wasn't like they took one negative and tried to do it 5 different ways to create 5 different prints. So they all seem to be unique, and these 5 are all unique. So this is going to be photo A, is going to be the cornfields. Photo B is this great black and white of a tree. See the forest for the tree. This one does not have any information on the back other than it looks like the f-stop that he might have used, or that could mean something totally different, do not know. This one has a little bit of a border where the A was a full bleed all the way to the edge. This one has a little bit of an edge to it, and it looks like it's kind of feathered on the side. So this one is photo B. Photo C underscores the idea. I have no idea where these were taken. These were purchased in Illinois. I don't think this is Illinois. So this is photo C. So we've got some cliffs, some rocks, not really sure what's down there. And this one has nothing on the back. So this is photo C for the cliff. Photo D, definitely not in Illinois because we cannot see mountains from here. So this is photo D. This one has a larger border than the others. They're all the same size of print paper, but this one's been brought in a little bit smaller. Beautiful tree, again with the mountains in the background. Oh, and there's people. Zoomed in really well. You might even be able to figure out the era of these because I don't even know how old these photographs are. So this one, maybe this one won an award, best print. So 2004, so this one does have a date on it. Something about the finish. So I don't know if this was, he just felt this was his best print or if this was something significant. And it looks like the only one that got a signature, maybe that's the photographer's initials. So 2004. And it is a nice one. So that is photo D. But my favorite is actually this one, Photo E. And this is, we're getting into some ruins. So we've got some great close-ups of columns. I do not know my Roman and Greek ruin history very well, so I cannot identify which ones these would be. But pretty cool that there's such a close-up of it within the natural tree coming through the background. So this one also does not have anything on the back. So this one is Photo E for the ruins. So $5, Photo E, Photo D, Photo C, Photo B, and Photo A. Moving away from true photography and portraiture, we're going to move into the trade cards, which some of them, could have some portraiture in there. These I'll go through relatively quickly. I will just say all of the cards that I will show have been themed together. These are all soap advertising cards, and they all have advertisements on the back. So it'll be $5 each, and these will all be soap, A, B, and C. So for soap A, we've got a trade card of Scouring, the improved scouring soap, with full text on the back. Soap B is an embossed trade card for Acme soap from a company advertising out of Buffalo, New York. And you can see on the back, once it sold for $12.50, use Acme soap advertisement for no more yellow clothes. And soap C is an image of a little girl with her cats. If this didn't have damage to it, this would be worth far more. So I'm selling her for only $5. It is a scouring soap ad as well. But what makes this one popular is going to be those cats. 3 friends, 1 in the pocket, 2 up front. Also $5 for C. So soap A, B, and C gets you one of the Victorian trade cards. All right, the theme behind all of these Victorian trade cards are they're French. And they are in French. So either if you speak French, congrats. If not, they just still look cool. We've got a, I'm not even gonna try. Well, I'll try. Rôtissier. Maybe he's buying a chicken. What's a rotisserie chicken sound like in French? Belle Jardinière à Lille. I think Lille is a town in France. So this is France K gets you the monk buying a chicken. France L gets you the ship with Blecau, which I think is the name of the product, yes. Blecau Déjeuner Fortifant, so something's fortified. And Transatlantique, which makes that the ship. And it's got to be coffee or tea of some sort that's been fortified because, hey, there's a cup. So we get the cool graphics, full color of the ship as French L. French M gets you kind of an action shot selling bonbons because everyone goes whaling. Everyone eats bonbons while they go whaling. So they appear to be in a very small boat trying to kill a whale. All right, that's disturbing on many levels. And full French on the back. Elle Cyric, I'm assuming that's the name of the product. Well, look, Paris, a word I recognize. So there we go. Won an award in 1875. So probably late 1800s, like most of these. French N gets you a chocolat. Guerin Boutron, looks like an artist. Not sure if it says who the artist is. Arkel, I don't know what that means. Guerin Boutron. All kinds of French. Oh, look, Paris, another word I recognize. But I also write chocolat. You can't hide that from me. So this is a superior chocolate card from Guerin Boutron, which is just fun to say. And French O gets you another Guerin Boutron. This one looking like, is that yep, that's a gun, and those are bullets. All right, are we still in France? Lobelia, Cap de Bon Esperance. Woman with child looking on in the distance, going, what are you doing? Who are you going to shoot? We're just trying to drink some chocolate. So, Guerin Boutron, chocolate quality superior. Oh, and got some vanilla. Recognize that word too. Also in Paris. So, French, K, L, M, N, and O, $5 each, gets you an authentic Victorian trade card. The next set of trade cards are all sewing themed. So sewing will be the code, and they're still $5 each. So sewing S, if it's a white, it's all right. So again, we've got kittens on this one, which probably means I should have been putting this in a bigger sale. But anyway, we want the white sewing machine with kittens, with imagery on the back, satisfaction and profit, white sewing machine, center out of Cleveland, Ohio. Sewing S gets you the white card with cats. Sewing T gets you a German card. Württemberg is printed on the bottom with sewing machine. And it is for the Singer sewing machine. So gives a little bit of history about the German Empire, but it is actually a advertisement for a Singer sewing machine. Sewing U gets you the standard rotary shuttle 2-in-1 lock stitch chain stitch from the Standard Sewing Machine Company in Cleveland, Ohio. And on the back, you've got a great illustration of their sewing machine stand with the information, and then an actual separate stamp, because these would have been printed in bulk and then purchased by the vendor, and then they would have stamped or printed their own information on there. So this vendor reseller happened to be in Allentown, Pennsylvania. So sewing U, $5 gets you that one. And then the final one is the New Home sewing machine. So we've got Asian motif on this one. Also appears to be in French. And on the back, yeah, it appears to be in French because it's from a Paris. So New Home is not a Paris brand, I don't think. But the card itself must have been for the Paris market. So I could have put it, I'd gotten a bunch of cards, obviously, because of what I sold earlier in from a French vendor. This must have been one of them, and but it's just got a cool graphic on there, and it is for the New Home sewing machine, which I don't know, I think I might display that image because that is disturbing on many levels. So sewing V gets you the New Home card. Again, $5, sewing S, T, U, or V. Again, if you purchased anything or wanted to claim anything from the sale, just make sure you put your comment in the comment section with the name and the letter of the item that you wanted. And please send me an email at thmvintage@gmail.com with your shipping information, and I will get invoices to you by the end of the weekend. Again, it's going to be half past the hour really soon, so make sure you hop over to Vintage and Vino for their video. And again, thanks to Beth from Carolina Princess Sweet Treats and Pretties for hosting the September Shop Hop.